What I really want to do is to go into businesses and corporations and try to help them create a happier work environment. A lot of times, happy work environments are really underestimated as far as the lives of the people in the organization and into the bottom line.
Will you sign my book, please?
It's called The Attitude Influence. I really love the subjects, obviously, of attitude. I wrote a book on it. And I also really like to promote the idea of accountability. What can I do? And have people come with the mindset of, what is it that I can do differently? I can't change anyone else, but I can change how I show up.
Attitude can change everything about your life. And you have the power to choose the manner in which it will do so. So let's start being accountable for how you're showing up to other people.
I feel there are a lot of organizations, first of all, they underestimate the social capital within their organization.
The first number I want to share with you is 66.7%. That is the percentage of the United States workforce who is currently disengaged. Almost 70% of our workforce isn't engaged. And when you have happy and engaged teammates, they're more creative, they work harder, and they provide better client service.
So if you take the time to do things that are going to allow your teams to build relationships with one another and with their leaders, 75% of people leave because of having a poor relationship with their manager or supervisor. And so if I can come in and help you to understand each other better, or to connect in some way, and at least lay the groundwork, I really enjoy doing that because I think that that's a definite disconnect. I also think that another theme I often see is a lack of appreciation.
And then there's 80%. 80% is the employees who say they're motivated to work harder when their boss shows appreciation. 80%. So I want you to think, when is the last time that you showed appreciation to someone who has gone above and beyond for you, who really works hard to make your work or your home life better?
Leann is a super engaging presenter. Every time I hear her speak, I just feel so connected to her. Her message is authentic. It is so reflective of who she is and what she fully believes. And I find myself wanting more and more from her when she speaks. I never want her to be done.
I've seen her with leaders, I've seen her with frontline teammates, I've seen her with business executives, and she's able to really connect to any audience that she works with to really pull out what they're trying to get out of it and customize a class for them.
And if you're around someone who's an ambulance chaser enough and they start coming towards you, you might start thinking, what now?
And of course, I do see a lot of bad attitudes, and I have spent the last 30 years in the workforce, and I would say for the last 15 to 20, I've been very observant about different behaviors, especially in the workplace, and I noticed that there are different bad attitudes that people exhibit, and if you can get people to be accountable for those things, then that really helps with the work environment as well.
Leann Shaw is just infectious, and her passion and energy that comes out when she's presenting, it really makes you want to get up and do something different with how you are perceived by other people and the energy that you carry when you walk into the room. She really is an inspiration.
I have a very blessed life, I will admit to that. But there was one point where I was going through a very dark period, and I felt very broken.
She has a way of connecting with the audience and being more relatable, and I love to hear her personal stories and how she engages the audience.
Well, on this particular day, it was so random. She didn't know what I was going through. Not too many people did. She looked at me, and what she said was this. She said, you know what, Leann? You just always look like you've got it all together. And when she said that, I thought, wow, I'm making a comeback. I am strong. She reminded me of that strength because she took the time just to say something nice. And she had no idea what I was going through when she said it.
She has genuine heart in everything that she does. She brings her whole self into it, and I think that's really admirable.
Choosing happy is a mindset. People think that it's such a soft topic and that it's such an easy thing to achieve, or if you talk about happiness in the workplace, then people think, oh, well, that's just a soft skill. But really, I think that there's nothing that makes you more badass than the ability to be happy when things really suck, quite frankly.
And so the friend said, oh, Leann, she's not going to jump on you if she sees you over here. She goes, huh, you know what? It's not all rainbows and strengths finders.
One of the ways I like to describe myself is don't mistake my kindness for weakness. Being kind is very important to me, but just because you have proper attitude control and proper attitude management doesn't mean that you're anyone's doormat. It simply means that you cared about how you show up for other people.
But I want to remind you that just because you're respectful and just because you're supportive and just because you love your team doesn't mean you can't have high expectations. It doesn't mean that you can't demand excellence. Because I promise you, when you have smart, hardworking, positive people, they will rise to every occasion. They want you to have expectations of them. So when you start thinking that this material is too soft to worry about, I promise you, you will be more successful when you can buy into this mindset.
The way that I'm really unique is that I'm a certified public accountant.
One of the reasons that I continue to use my certified public accountant in my credentials and on my website is because I want people to know that I understand financial statements. I can look at an income statement, and I know that there are leaders who look at that income statement and they're wondering why office supplies are so high. They're wondering why you blew the travel budget this year. But I'm wondering how often they look at that number and say, wow, what is our retention? What's our retention doing to that bottom line? What are those engagement scores doing to that bottom line?
Corporate America alone is losing $450 to $500 billion every year because of disengagement. People are not as productive. It's frustrating when people think that it's a waste of time and money to really spend this time with their team and do these workshops, or to hire speakers that might come in and make a little bit of a difference to the bottom line, because there's plenty of money flying out the door. I know what it's like to be a working mom and burning the candle at both ends and getting so high up in life that you don't appreciate what you really have. And I had a mom come up to me. She's a working mom. Her kids were young. Again, my kids are older. They're grown now. But I've been there, the working mom with little kids and trying to juggle all these balls in the air. And she came up and she had tears in her eyes and said, you don't know how much I needed to hear that talk today.
Remember, choose happy. And that's it for me.